Yeah?
No, I was making sure you was alright.
There you go. Bye.
Alright. Huh?
Bye. I was talking about how they use stimulations. They're getting loud because they don't want me to talk. They're getting loud because they don't want me to talk. I was talking about how they use nanotechnology and psychological technology to project the insecurities that they feel, because this is a stimulation where they get to project their insecurities into a person and successfully and accurately justify a delusion in their head just because they were able to make that delusion successfully happen in reality. But that doesn't mean that the principle of what they believe is real. It just means that they're willing to feed in their delusions just so their insecurities can feel okay, so they can feel healed. And literally, right after I said that, a man walks up to my tent. So anytime you speak a truth that makes them feel shame or embarrassment, they will immediately try and confront you with some kind of fear. That means whatever inadequacy they feel, they cannot handle it. They handle all their issues with money and tech and power. They don't actually know how to sit in a room with themselves and love themselves and actually have self-strength outside of social validation and power. So me saying that made them feel inadequate and made them try to scare me by sending a man up to my tent. This is what it means when a person uses your environment to project their insecurities, their pathetic natures, their inadequacies that they never admit to, but because they feel them and you're triggering them, they feel like you should supposed to take responsibility for it. Mind you, these are people who call themselves grown men and grown women, but you can't take responsibility. A woman and a man takes responsibility for things. You can't take responsibility for things that you want to tame the title of being a grown man and a grown woman because of your job title and who you call yourself as a person. They're more wrapped in being an aesthetic of a powerful person, the aesthetic of a good person, the aesthetic of a type of person. They aren't actually the people they say that they are, and they know it. That's why they are the superior things they want to be in the stimulation and not in reality, not in actual reality. In reality, if somebody's jealous, they're going to keep it to themselves because they know it's embarrassing. But in this stimulation, if they feel jealousy, they get to put you through a situation where you feel jealous too. So I get to be pathetic and jealous and not heal my emotions and take accountability for it and make you feel good and make you feel like it's your fault that you the one who feel that. So that's an insecure person's dream. An insecure person's dream is to not be able to take accountability for their embarrassment and give it to somebody else and feel like they don't have to take accountability for it. And so because I made that pretty fucking obvious that that's what the fuck they doing, I guess that wasn't the validated perspective they wanted of themselves that told them that they were just leaders who were just so smart and powerful and technology big dicks. Ooh, because I didn't give them the validation that they fucking needed. A man pops up at my tent. He's asking me to smoke a blunt with him. I think they're trying to get me on a drug, and I don't know what's in that blunt. I don't know what's in there. They see that I'm intellectually smart, so I feel like because they're threatened by my intellect, but they're people who say we're elites, we're smart, so we don't feel jealousy, we don't feel insecurities, but their actions literally account to that. Because if your target is showing signs of intellect, and the first thing you want to do is damage their brain because you feel threatened by it, that is, I'm sorry, baby, but no amount of money and tech gonna cover up the fact that that's pure jealousy. But any fucking ways, y'all. Yeah, the world is controlled by somebody's inadequate ass insecurities and emotions and not about logic and facts. And we're using the logic and facts to accommodate for the insecure, deluded ass insecurities instead of letting the science and facts fix the insecure, deluded and insecure activities. We're instead feeding into them because we can't confront our own inadequacies, embarrassments, and then we're letting people who trigger those emotions face those consequences instead of us facing them. Even though you feeling triggered is a projection that pain and insecurity is you and not that person. So, you know, I'm